So you have completed Spider-Man 2 and want to know what's next? Well, we are going to go through the possibilities and even explore the villains that could be in future games and DLC, including a villain from the Amazing Spider-Man #1 comic. Can you guess which one it is as we go through the list? Welcome everyone to Only Boss Fights. I'm Insomniac and this is your spoiler warning, because we will be diving deep into the game's story. So if you haven't finished the game and don't want anything ruined, save this to watch later and come back after you have saved New York. Let's swing right into action. Right, one loose end that has caught my attention is the introduction of the chameleon. In the comic books, the chameleon is the original Kraven, but in the game, after chasing all the Hawk drones around the city and investigating his apartment, we find out that the chameleon is Kraven's brother. We get a glimpse of him as we swing off into New York as he says he will finish what his brother couldn't.
Don't worry, brother. I will do what you could not.
The Flame storyline teases to be the introduction of Carnage. The Flame storyline brings back Officer Yuri Watanabe from the first game as her anti-hero persona Wraith. Wraith is hunting down a leader of a cult, the cult being followers of the Flame. We learn that the leader is a serial killer wanted to bring on an event called the Crimson Hour. As the missions go on, we find more and more how sick and twisted the leader is, with it concluding with him derailing a train, stealing a symbiote, and nearly setting Peter Parker alight. As the mission ends, the last speech is that Yuri is going to see if he is using any of his old aliases. One of these being Cletus Cassidy, the original host in the comics of Carnage. Did you notice when he picked up the symbiote it turned a crimson colour? Like the original Carnage? I believe this will be a DLC and conclude the symbiote saga rather than have him as the antagonist of Spider-Man 3.
And when the Crimson Hour rolls over this earth, it shall bring truth, judgment, and carnage.
In the game, we find out that Kraven has a family, a very dysfunctional family. As we clear out the hunter bases, we hear from each of Kraven's family members via voice message, trying to prove themselves to Kraven to take up his mantle. The final base reveals that his youngest daughter, Anna, has killed the rest of their family and is coming after Kraven, because she does not know he is dead yet. As we know from the comics, Anna takes on the mantle of Kraven, and I believe she will travel to New York to finish his final hunt and prove she is better than the OG Kraven.
Little Anna.
You seek a challenge to feel the rush of fear again. I will give you something to fear, Father.
Your brother made such promises. Go on then. Terrify me.
Anyone who gets in my way will suffer the same fate as Nedorochi.
Is that so? And your mother?
She was in the way.
I assume Vladimir was no problem for you either.
I live for the hunt.
If you really are the one, let us see if you can leave Volgograd unscathed.
Spider-Man's greatest foe has been teased for 2 games now, and I believe that he will be making his grand appearance with a bang soon, the Green Goblin. At the end of the game, we see Norman Osborn on the phone to someone over Harry's comatose body, saying to get the G serum ready.
Get the G serum ready. ASAP.
This to me is the Goblin serum, and learning from his mistakes before, he will test this one on himself rather than Harry first, turning him into the Green Goblin. Seeing that the Green Goblin's first appearance was in Spider-Man 14 and has caused Peter so much heartache, like causing the death of his girlfriend Gwen Stacy at his own hands as he tried to save her, this has to be done right and with a lot of emotions and big set pieces. The post-game cinematic could be the introduction of a new Spider-Person. We are introduced to two new characters at the end, Alfred, who is Mrs. Morales' new boyfriend, and Cindy. I believe this to be Cindy Moon. Cindy Moon in the comic books is the Spider-Person Silk. Cindy was bitten by the same spider as Peter Parker in the science expedition, but then was locked away and hidden for 10 years from a creature called Morlun. Morlun in the comics is one of their most powerful and dangerous villains. He is an entity from Earth 001 that hunts all the Spider-Man, or as he calls them, the Spider Totems, by traveling through the multiverses, killing each one. Could he be coming with her appearance? Right guys, do you think I am on the right track at this time? If you do, why not hit the subscribe button to keep up with all our videos? We bring out new reviews, guides and gaming news. And if you think I am missing anything at the end of this video, let me know in the comments.
Okay, before we get down to business, there's something I have to tell you. I'm fresh out of honey.
Let's not forget the exciting tease of Spider-Man 2099. Miguel O'Hara's mention in the game hints at him appearing in future games. He is mentioned once you have completed finding all the Spider-Bots in the game, and then take them to a portal where a strange bartender mentions Miguel. The inclusion of the time-traveling and futuristic Spider-Man would offer a fresh and unique take on this Spider-Verse.
Whoa!
Thank you, Spider-Man. We can always count on you to do the right thing.
You're welcome.
And if Miguel comes looking for these, tell him finders keepers.
Wait, who's Miguel?
Final loose end we will explore, and this is all speculation on my part, is the meeting between Otto Octavius and Norman Osborn at the end. Norman goes to see an imprisoned Otto at the raft, and obviously looking very weak, he says he is writing the final chapter. I believe this to be a hint at the Superior Spider-Man. The Superior Spider-Man comes in the final comic of Spider-Man's first run, i.e. the final chapter, Amazing Spider-Man 800, where Dr. Octavius on his deathbed puts his consciousness into Peter's, taking over his mind and body. He then takes up the mantle as Superior Spider-Man. Could we play as Otto as the Superior Spider-Man and explore how Peter gets back control of his body and mind?
The final chapter.
So now that we've looked at all the loose ends, here are my predictions. We are going to have 3 DLCs, one with Carnage, one with the Chameleon, and the third one with Anna Kravinoff starring in each of these. In Spider-Man 3, I believe the first antagonist being Morlun. I think Miles and Peter will be warned by Miguel, Spider-Man 2099, and this will also introduce Silk. The second antagonist will be the Green Goblin, with Norman blaming the Spider-Man for Harry's conditions. Chucked in with a sub-storyline of Otto taking over Peter's body and becoming the Superior Spider-Man. Do you think I'm right? So that wraps up our discussion of the future of the Spider-Man games. What are your thoughts on these story elements and where the game might be heading in the future? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and share this video if you enjoyed it. And to answer the question at the beginning of the video, the chameleon was Spider-Man's first foe in Amazing Spider-Man #1. As always, stay tuned for more excited Spider-Man updates and gaming content right here on our channel, Only Boss Fights. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in our next video.
Pete, come on, man. Just focus on me. Come on! You're stronger than this. You hear me?